Welcome to this explainer. We are jumping right in today because we're unpacking Session 8 of the Self-Worth course, and honestly, this material is a total game changer. We're going to explore this profound psychological reality, how your internal self-worth strictly, absolutely dictates your external reality. This isn't just some fluffy, feel-good concept. We're breaking down the actual mechanics of how the world decides your value. So, let's get into it.
I want to start off with a super direct question for you, and I want you to be completely honest with yourself here. When someone walks up to you and gives you a genuine compliment, maybe they praise your outfit, your intelligence, or a meal you just cooked, how do you react? Like, what is your immediate knee-jerk response? Do you just soak it in and accept it, or do you instantly get kind of weird about it?
Let's be real, if you're like most of us, you probably feel this instant visceral awkwardness. Someone says, "Wow, you look amazing today. I absolutely love that shirt." And what do? Our immediate instinct is to just crush the compliment. We say, this old thing. Seriously, it's just a cheap shirt. I found it in a bargain bin at Walmart for $5. It's really nothing special. We literally trip over ourselves to deflect the praise.
And it is wild how ingrained this habit actually is. We have a whole arsenal of deflection tactics ready to go. If someone praises a fantastic dinner you made, you immediately pull out the basic recipe excuse, right? "Oh, I just threw it together from an internet recipe. Honestly, a toddler can make this." Or say you pull off an incredible athletic play in a soccer game and someone's like, "What a move." You hit them with the lucky goal excuse. No, the other team was just out of position. The ball literally just bounced off my foot." We are constantly downplaying our effort, our skill, and our uniqueness. We invent these little excuses so we don't have to fully own our own greatness.
So, the really important question here is, why? Why on earth do we shrink ourselves like this? You probably tell yourself you're just being polite or humble. But the material in Session 8 points out something huge. This isn't politeness. Not at all. It is a massive flashing red light for a much deeper psychological block. It's a direct symptom of just how little internal value we are actually placing on ourselves.
To really get this, we have to dig into the roots of this false humility. For so many of us, this stems from intense childhood programming and cultural norms. Just think back. When you were a little kid and another adult praised you in front of your parents, how did your parents respond? In a lot of cultures, to seem polite, parents will actively downplay their own child's worth to the person giving the compliment. They use phrases that essentially translate to, "Oh, we are just your humble servants," or "It's really nothing at all." We are trained from day one to shrink ourselves so we don't accidentally offend anyone. We grow up terrified of being judged by our peers, and somewhere along the line, we start equating self-deprecation with actual virtue. We convince ourselves that beating ourselves down makes us a good person.
And that cultural conditioning creates a massive, massive misunderstanding. We have completely confused innate self-worth with arrogance. Let's clear this up right now. They are not the same thing. Arrogance is a feeling of superiority. It's walking into a room and thinking you are fundamentally better than everyone else and that they have no value. Innate self-worth, that is simply knowing that you are incredibly valuable, right alongside everyone else. You do not have to sweep your achievements under the rug just to prove you aren't arrogant. You can absolutely celebrate your own value without taking a single thing away from anyone else's.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second and look at some high-level proof of how self-worth literally dictates reality. Think about this massive number, $10 million. In the fine art world, you'll occasionally hear about a canvas that's sold at auction. But the canvas is painted completely white, nothing else. Or maybe it's just a giant canvas with one single simple line drawn straight down the middle. And the price tag? Millions of dollars.
It's what we call the art world paradox. You've got the minimalist artist who draws a single line, demands millions of dollars for it, and actually gets it. People enthusiastically pay for it. Then, on the flip side, you have the perfectionist. This is an artist who sweats for years over a single painting, agonizing over every tiny, intricate detail. And in the end, they can't even sell the piece for the cost of the paint and the canvas. Honestly, it would have made more money working a minimum wage job for the hours they put in. Why does this happen? Well, the course material reveals a profound truth. The minimalist artist successfully sells their work for millions simply because they assigned massive, unwavering internal value to it in their own mind. Their internal self-belief quite literally dictated the external financial worth of the object.
And it is so fascinating to see how this plays out in everyday professions, too. Take two architects, for example. Architect A might have off-the-charts technical skill, but terribly low internal self-worth. They constantly allow clients to haggle and chip away at their fees. The result? A surprisingly low income. Then you have Architect B,
Maybe their skills are just moderate, but their internal self-worth is rock solid. They have firm boundaries and never discount their rates. The result? An extremely high income. You see the exact same pattern with barbers, programmers, you name it. A master-level barber who people pleases and bends over backwards will struggle to pay rent, but an average barber who absolutely knows their value, they will be fully booked, wealthy, and nobody will even try to negotiate their prices. Technical skill doesn't determine your income nearly as much as your own self-perception does. Which brings us to the absolute core thesis of this entire session, the mirror law. The universe basically acts as a giant, flawless mirror. It strictly reflects the internal value you place upon yourself straight back into your reality. If you don't value your own time, if you constantly discount your skills, and if you let people stomp all over your boundaries, the rest of the world is going to happily mirror that disrespect right back at you. If you secretly think your work is worthless, the world is going to prove you right. But if you carry yourself like your work is immensely valuable, the world will mirror that exact same value right back to you.
Let's look at a fantastic real-world story from the session that captures what this professional integrity looks like in action. There was a professional speaker invited to give a lecture at a university's counseling office. He was actually doing them a massive favor, working completely for free. But his unconventional methods were such a huge hit that students were literally packing the halls, sitting on the floor, doing absolutely anything they could just to listen in. Well, this made the university administration super uncomfortable. So campus security stepped in, tried to shut the whole event down, and actually pulled the speaker aside, treating him incredibly disrespectfully.
Now, the speaker could have just cowered, apologized, and packed his bags. I mean, he wasn't even getting paid. But instead, he instinctively pushed back. He looked right at the head of security and said, "Do you think my value is limited to this university? Do you think my worth is just the size of this town? My value is global." Even though he was volunteering his time, he instinctively refused to be treated like he didn't matter. And that brilliantly illustrates that true self-worth doesn't fluctuate based on whatever immediate paycheck happens to be in front of you. You protect your value because of who you are, period, not because of what someone is currently paying you.
There's another incredibly powerful story from the course that takes this concept even further. The very same speaker was presenting a major seminar in a massive hall, hundreds of people in the audience, and right in the middle of his presentation, a baby in the audience started crying, loudly. But the mother didn't take the child out. She just stayed right in her seat, hoping to keep taking notes while the baby cried and cried, the sound just echoing through the entire room.
Now, let's be honest. Most speakers would just awkwardly try to talk over the noise, right? We'd be terrified of offending the mother. Not this speaker. He completely stopped talking, he placed the microphone down on the podium, and calmly announced that he would not continue the seminar until the child was taken outside. He basically told a room of hundreds of people, "I respect my message way too much to speak over the noise. What I am saying is too valuable to be treated like background chatter." He refused to say another word until the room was completely silent. This is the ultimate example of what setting a boundary and protecting your value looks like in real time. Because if you don't respect your own message, why would anyone else? So, hearing all of this, the big question we have to ask ourselves is, how do we actually break our own cycle of self-deprecation? How do we take these massive macro concepts, like the mirror law and unwavering professional integrity, and bring them down to the micro level of our everyday lives? How can you start making this immense psychological shift today?
It all starts with a very practical, kind of terrifying but simple exercise. Let's call it the thank you exercise. The next time someone gives you a compliment, whether it's about a project at work, your cooking, or even just your outfit, I challenge you to do exactly this. Step 1, just pause and take a breath. Physically stop that knee-jerk reaction to deflect. Step 2, smile genuinely at the person. And step 3, say simple thank you, full stop. Do not add a single word of justification. Do not say it was cheap. Do not say you got lucky. Do not say anyone could have done it. Just accept it. You have to actively train your brain to accept value without making a single excuse for your worth.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to really chew on. If the universe truly is a flawless mirror, reflecting only what you fundamentally believe about yourself, what is your mirror reflecting today? Take a hard look at how people treat your time, how they pay for your skills, and whether or not they respect your boundaries. That reflection is telling you exactly where your internal self-worth is sitting right now. It is time to stop shrinking. Start owning your innate value, and just watch as the world's reflection naturally changes to match it. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible material.